Welcome to the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular, featuring live plays, contests, and we'd like to thank our sponsors and our special guests, and we hope that you enjoy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Z Garcia.
Welcome back to the last day of the Summer Spectacular. We have a bit of fewer things today, but some cool
big
stuff. We have
Big
Board Game
things?
Smorgasbord going on
things.
right now.
Smorgasbord is big.
This is a grand buffet of smorgasbord.
Yes. And
That was the most dismissive yes I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, at least he didn't do one of these.
Stone Spine Architects.
So anyway,
happening.
from Thunderworks.
I'm trying to be politer to you.
Well, look.
Yes.
Good try.
And then later on, we're doing our top 10 tournament games. What does that mean? We'll explain it when we get there. And then at 3 o'clock, we have a bunch of announcements.
Oh,
What did you? But you
16 announcements.
You should use the actual terminology. It's a mega.
That's right.
Announcement.
A mega
thread.
announcement thread with 16 different companies have announcements that will be here for the first time. So you'll want to tune in and see what they are.
What?
Even you don't know they are.
I
I don't know
purposely
what they
did
are.
not watch them because I want to be surprised with all of you. We can share in our mutual glee.
Speaking of Glee,
Yeah, that's good.
the cruise. Hey, the cruise is. When Dice Tower East happened, we had to sign up for the cruise, and
Yeah.
a lot of cruise rooms sold.
Yeah,
all right, I
did,
believe there's
yeah.
like 70 rooms left. So if you want to come, sign up. We also have confirmed we will have special guest Sam Healy joining us there
On the cruise?
on the cruise.
What?
Whoa.
For the first time. Not really.
Karaoke just got real.
Okay. Oh, if I could persuade him. I don't think he's a karaoke guy.
I know.
I don't think so. I don't think he's.
That
No.
makes it all the better.
He did sing in our thing.
bet
He
he
though.
does
do that,
sing. He sings very well and plays the guitar.
I bet he'd do that Diggy Diggy Hole song.
I don't think that's in the karaoke
No?
machine.
We can load it in. Let's side load it. Side load that into the karaoke machine.
Let's do it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
check out DicetowerCruise.com. We are on a really amazing ship. I am really pumped about it. Try not to think about it too much because it's pretty far away still.
Have you been on this ship yet?
Not on this one. We were on the Oasis class. But this ship is even better than the last one we were on.
I think I've been on this ship, Tom. I've been on the ship, folks.
When were you on the ship? Oh, you did the that's right. I sent Mike up because I was busy.
How
Yeah.
have you been?
Kenny, myself, and Jason, the cruise kind of director there, went and visited the ship, and I did a test run
Oh, the sliding board.
on the slide, yes.
What? There's
That's
a slide?
right.
What slide?
It's a slide that goes down approximately 45 floors.
Does it like drop you off at the buffet?
No, it drops me off in the Mariana Trench is what it drops me off in.
Takes you.
Mariana Trench. Mike dropping the knowledge, folks. Okay, he's been reading about
This
the
is the
Meg.
Meg.
It was
the
quite
Meg
a-
3.
Quite a journey back to the boat, I'll tell you that.
No, but it's like 10 floors, I think.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It
Yeah,
was
you go
very
from
cool.
the top to the bottom. After you eat the buffet,
Correct.
you work it off on the slide.
That's not working at all.
After you eat the buffet is gone because you vomited on the way down.
Are you a roller coaster guy?
I have been in the past. I can still. It's the virtual roller coasters that mess me up.
Well, what I'm saying though
Yeah.
is that this is not a particularly dastardly slide.
I don't know if I'd go dastardly. It's not quite dastardly. I would say that it is.
Here we go.
Now I feel
Now
pressure. I
your
don't got it.
dictionary just closed up on you.
Well, look, it's been too long since I've been on the smorgasbord. My
was-
mind is not quite sharp.
Fear-inducing. No,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's not
No,
that big of a
it
deal.
was a cool slide.
There's
It was
also water
tenebrous.
slides, a water show.
There you go. Tenebrous, you
It was
like
tenebrous,
that
yeah.
one? Okay.
It
Anyway.
was also tensile.
Anyway, come on the cruise. Check it out. Okay, so that's all we have to talk about that. Let's get to the news. In what seems to be an unfortunately reoccurring segment on our news, another company is closing its doors. This one is Dogmite Games. You might know them from a few, just not too many days ago. We showed off the hammer
Oh, that was one
that
of
Camilla
theirs.
did not know we owned. That was made by Dogmite. They also have one of our really nice dice towers with the chains.
Yeah, those are pretty
That's
cool.
from them, and those containers that hooked up. Anyway, whatever the reasons are, they went bankrupt, and they sent out a thing to their backers saying, "Hey, try to get your money back through credit card." But they're out.
Oh, so there's a Kickstarter that was pending?
Unfortunately,
I think so,
believe
yeah.
So. I don't think that's going to
Yeah,
deliver.
but credit to where credit's due. At least they're saying they're done, as opposed to dragging it out and
Yes.
saying, "Hey, we're not." They closed
Hey, we're
down.
working on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you might, I don't know, you might be able to get a charge back. I have no idea.
It depends on your
Yeah.
credit card, how
Right,
long,
right.
so on. So either way, unfortunate. I did like their products a lot. I thought they were
did
very
make
high
some
quality.
nice stuff.
All right, let's go to COVID. No, Corvids.
Oh, jeez.
You did the news.
I did, but I didn't know you were going to go to COVID. Okay.
Well, doesn't that look a little like
It looks
COVID
a
with an
little-
R?
It looks a little bit. yeah.
What? I still can't see the word because
It's
it's nowhere there.
Corvids.
So I think a corvid is a type of raven or crow, because in Root there's a faction known as the Corvid Conspiracy, and they're blackbirds. I can't remember if they're rose
You're
or
right.
ravens.
Corvids are a crow family.
There
There
you
are
go.
16 types of corvids. Oh, corvids is above crow
Oh, okay.
because jays are corvids.
Oh, interesting.
And they lord it over the crows. I've
They do.
seen jays looking down
It's a
on crows.
cosmopolitan family of ocine passerine birds. I didn't understand any of the
Did
things
you
I
say
just said.
cosmopolitan? Delicious.
It includes crows, ravens, rooks, magpies, jackdaws, jays, treepees, chows, and nutcrackers.
Those are some of my favorite birds right there.
There's
You just
130
named-
One of my
Five
favorite plays as well.
species.
Nutcrackers. you said?
So I guess the hook here is that you have these little, like, tweezer, toothpicky type things. I think they're more like tweezers that you're supposed to be like representing your beak. And I think you're trying to pick up stuff with those tweezers type things. Ugh.
This is in Z's top 10 of the year.
That's correct.
Most anticipated.
Must miss.
Also, it has limited communication. I just made that up.
It does not.
No.
All right.
You have to put this thing in your mouth.
It might work, but I'm telling you, the look of it isn't good.
Well, this is probably pre-production. Yeah, because
Okay.
those look all 3D printed to me.
Okay, well, hopefully. I'm talking about the cards.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Cartridge 3D printed too.
All right. The dismantling of Tasty Minstrel games continues
Yeah.
with the very popular game Harvest. And I say that a little ironically. It's not that popular, but
No.
Keymaster is picking it up. Now, I really like Harvest. I think it's a great little worker placement game that's... It's just nice.
I never
Trey
played
Chamber.
this one. Yeah.
Trey Chamber normally, his other games have been
Like Millennium Blades.
overly
right?
Not
Or no,
Millennium
no,
Blades.
that
He
was,
did the one with the like Harry Potter, but you were like learning spells at a school. Worker placement game was gigantic. It's from level 99.
Argent the Consortium.
Yes, and that game just had everything in the kitchen sink thrown in.
Right.
And then he did the train game with them also.
Yes.
Which was actually a fairly simple game, but had everything in the
Yeah, the one with the huge box. I can't remember what that one was called.
fantasy
either.
trains. Anyway, yeah, I'm really good at
Yeah, it
names
was called
today.
Anime Trains. People were calling it Anime Trains.
But Harvest is a much smaller game.
Imperial. Spells and Steam.
Yes, that's right. I'm glad Mike's here.
Yeah.
Mike
Anyway,
is, he's
But this is a smaller game, and I like it a lot. It came after Harbor,
That was the thing,
which
yeah.
I did not like.
That was Scott Alms, yeah. And, but I haven't played this game, but already I can tell you, look, this is a personal thing. I didn't love this look that TMG was doing on this line. They did it with that Aristocracy game by Knizia. They did it with Harbor. I don't love that look, but I think if Keymaster, if it's a good game, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with it, because their graphic design and art is 100% on point.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of good art, Monkey See, Monkey Poo.
I'm in. Banana scented poo?
This is from Spin Master. Does it say that?
Wait. Banana
On
scented poo.
the box.
Yeah, it's on right
Banana
there.
Scented.
You don't see it?
Well, that's okay then.
Of course. I mean,
If you're gonna throw poo at me,
right.
I want it scented.
Right.
What if I'm going to throw a banana at you?
I
What
want
do you
it
want it
poo
to
scented.
smell like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
poo scented poo.
I love how that monkey there's a profile of him in the corner like he's doing his headshot. Look at him.
That's great.
Also,
Turn to
is he inside
I'm
this
pretty
box?
sure that's after he's been
sitting on
arrested
the
by the
toilet?
police.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say, that's more like a
Definitely
mugshot. Turn to your right, sir. Yeah, that's great. This is probably going to be like a play on coconuts, right? But instead of coconuts, it's poop.
I
think so, yeah.
You know what? Why are we?
It looks like you're aiming at those monkeys in the tree.
Yeah, but you have to then climb up the tree.
So it's like Rhino Hero, super poopy.
Moving on. Now we go to a game that looks super classy, sort of, and also weird.
Yes.
Expedition. What's it called? Expedition into the Word Kingdom.
Yeah, that's the English.
So this is coming from Asmodee to America. So let me explain how this works. Z, it's a cooperative storytelling family game in which you use any book in your
house.
bookcase.
Okay.
So you find a starting place in the book and you put a base camp marker there, and you go ahead several dozen pages, put a sunken city marker there, and then there's going to be some bookmarks in the middle of the table, illustrated bookmarks, and you will read a passage, I guess, that falls in between those, and people have to guess which bookmark it is based on the passage you read from the book.
So it's almost like a Dixit type thing, I think, or...
I don't know. There's also dangers lurking during the reading. I don't know what that means. You read the wrong phrase and you summon a demon?
I think that's something like that, yes.
It seems like the book, they have to figure out what book you read from?
No. You're reading the book. They have to figure out... You're reading a passage from the book, right? And I think the idea is that you have there's images on the table. And you probably have a bookmark with those images, and you're placing them in certain spots, so you'll read a passage that you think relates to one of those images, and they're trying to guess if you got if you have the same image.
I'm going to try this. It sounds interesting.
That's at least how I read it. It sounds interesting to me.
I want to try this with a picture book.
Hop on pop.
I'm going to try this with Mad Magazine.
All right. Next, we have the Belgian Beers Race Dice.
Well, it looks exactly like Three Ring Circus.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't love that cover at all.
Yeah.
Also, did anyone here play Belgian Beers Race?
No.
No. The original, no.
Yeah, you were supposed to go to as many breweries, buy beer, and drink. I like how it says with moderation. Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
Right.
On a 3-day competition.
Okay.
Anyway, this is a faster and lighter version. You're using dice to do it. Go to 3 different missions and then get back to Brussels.
I wish they made it clear that it was a dice game.
I know.
Yeah, the designer name, they're like, no.
Nah.
We don't want anyone to read your name.
Exactly.
We put it on the box as a contract stipulated.
Correct.
But no one will ever know.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right, moving on. We got, this one's interesting. Penny Black, and this is coming out next week.
Whoa.
At Gen Con. This is from Buffalo Games, who has really, just in the past
They've
couple
done
of years,
some
they're
really
really
good stuff.
It's like a new company.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, they've been doing great stuff.
Yeah, they did like Summer Camp. They did the
Planted, yeah.
Yeah, they've done some really good stuff.
So this is a tile laying game, but you're putting stamps in your album, which this brings back a lot of
cool.
nostalgia for me because I collected stamps as a kid until I realized they were too expensive to do.
What's the term for stamp collecting?
Nerds.
No, there's like a big fancy pretentious term for it. Like ornithology for bird watching and
I don't know.
I think it starts with an O, like
collectors
O-E.
are called philatelist. Philatelist?
Sure.
Philatelist?
Philatelists.
Hang on.
Philatelist. Philatelist.
Philatelist.
Philatelists.
Philatelist.
Philatelist.
Stamp collectors. Anyhow, no one called them. I went to like meetings. I don't remember them being called that there.
I go to a Philatelist Anonymous, Tom.
Anyway, I like this theme a lot. I think stamp collecting is neat.
It's a neat
I
theme.
wonder how it's doing today with so few letters being sent.
That's true.
What's
Most
Penny
people don't know.
Black? Do you guys know what that means?
Maybe a
It's the
type of
world's
stamp?
first adhesive postage stamp that ushered in the
Yeah.
age of stamp collecting.
Right.
So it's like a famous stamp.
I bet it was
according
a penny.
to this here.
You know, it's probably a penny's value, which maybe was what it cost.
Yeah,
to
actually, I
send.
bet it's the one in the corner there. It shows. It looks like it is the Queen Victoria or one of the queens.
Yeah.
Probably was Queen.
Interesting.
Any,
Okay.
any good philatelist knows what a penny black is.
Yeah, I know. I don't really know my stuff.
Well,
This
now
game
I'm,
looks, I got to tell you right now, it
Penny-
looks mega boring.
There it is.
Really?
Penny Black. It is Queen Victoria. I was right. It came out in May 1840, but it wasn't valid for use until May 6th. It came out May 1st. Anyhow,
I don't know. This looks interesting to me. I think it's going to probably be a set collection game, right? I would
Yeah.
think. And it looks like you have your own little stamp album that you get to put the stamps in. I think it's cute.
Yeah, Tom is into it.
I'm very interested in this
Yeah.
one. And I'm glad it's next week. That's nice. Mm-hmm. All right, the match of the century from who?
Paolo Mori.
All right.
One of the most under the radar, fantastic designers out there.
So this is based on the World Chess Championship in 1972, and so you're not playing chess, you're playing the people playing chess. It's meta.
It's kind of like meta thing.
It's chess inception.
Right. And with a combination of, Capstone, although they're bringing it over, I think, from Deepwater, and this designer, I'm
Deepwater?
intrigued. Is it? No, who is it?
It's Deep Print or whatever they call them, their little affiliate studio.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, Paolo Mori has me interested. I really like him.
Yes.
And I like this theme of being in like this intense chess match.
Yeah.
It looks fun.
Looks a little almost like a Watergate-y type thing
Yeah.
going on there.
It's
And
in that
he did-
line. It looks like it's part of that line.
Right,
that
and
series.
he's done two-player head-to-head stuff, Blitzkrieg and Caesar, so I'm in.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
When is that coming out? Is that also at October? October. All right, Heroes for Sale, which is terrible. You should be for sale, but basically you are trying to.
This is a non-final cover, but yeah.
But that art, though.
Vincent Dutray and
Detroit doing Heroes.
And he's doing like superheroes, but like, not he's doing original
not known
superheroes.
ones,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah,
Cosmos.
she's just a Flamebird, and he's a flying monkey man.
Flying Monkey Hidden Pooh.
I get the name.
Monkey Man and Flame Bird.
Yeah, I'm a great at titling
No,
heroes.
that's great. You're nailing it if it was the 30s.
Just based on what little I know, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, not a lot more information coming out yet, so it's a 2-player game, and we'll tell you more when we find out.
Oh, yeah.
Extra Salt. This is an expansion for sea salt and
baby.
paper.
It's like a little booster pack, 8 cards.
Oh, really?
I love it.
Huh.
I
haven't played sea salt and pepper yet, so I have
need
no.
to. It's good.
All right.
This is interesting. Oh, okay, cool. Is this going to be at Gen Con?
Probably
It
Ascent,
might
I
be
guess.
at Gen Con.
Oh, really?
It might be.
I'll be at Gen Con.
You might be at Gen Con.
It's true. You know what? That's fair.
All right.
If
This
I
next
don't
one,
leave Gen Con with a
I have
copy of
mixed
that.
feelings about.
Okay.
So there's a new game coming out called Waterfall Park.
Yes.
This is a reprint of Chinatown.
Tom, can you please read the title of the copy down there?
Don't go chasing Chinatown?
Yes!
Why is that funny?
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Mike is kind of a big idiot with his coffee.
That's gold, baby.
Anyhow,
Don't go chasing China.
so Chinatown has been out for 1999. Chinatown came out. It was the number 2 title in the Aliyah line.
Yes.
It
It's a negotiation game.
is.
It is.
It is a pretty tight negotiation game in the sense that I think one of the games, I don't know if it's a flaw per se, but if you and me make a negotiation that really benefits you, you might win the game.
Okay.
Because you can't fool around.
It's not
in this
very
game.
forgiving,
It's
yeah.
not.
Right.
Currency is limited. There's a lot of trading. You're trying to make groups of different businesses. I like the theme park.
Chinatown is cool. I liked
This looks
Chinatown.
cool. This
It's
looks
got a
very
little
cool.
bit of an acquire thing, too, with new plots showing
Yeah.
up, and you're like, ooh, I want that plot. What do you want for it? You know?
Okay.
And so I'm guessing this is the same idea in many ways.
It says it's shorter and
Okay.
more family friendly.
Okay, so less slapping.
And the
Less
exchanges and interactions have been increased to make the game better.
Okay.
I'm
in.
willing to come in, and this is from repos too.
Yeah.
This is like a win all around, man.
Oh.
Yeah, this
Okay.
looks really good.
I'm pretty pumped about this.
This looks neat. I liked Chinatown, like I said, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Invincible. We just recently got a dice game for Invincible, which is vomit-inducing bad. It's terrible. But that's not what we're talking about. There's 2 Invincible games.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one is from, I think they're both in cooperation with Skybound.
Right.
The first one is from,
I think the first one just is Skybound.
Oh, it's just Skybound.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a new deduction game, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. But more importantly,
The
other one, oh, is it on the next slide?
Yeah, next slide.
Okay. The next one is with Dire Wolf. Let's just jump to like my top 10 most anticipated games.
All right.
Because I love everything Dire Wolf does.
Yeah.
And I love the Invincible theme.
Oh, wow. The hero building game.
And it's from a designer I've never heard of before. So it's not a Paul Dano
Designer is
design.
Kevin Spock. It's a fusion of bag building and tableau building. Lets you customize your hero each game. You're going to play as Mark Grayson in the teen team. I want to be the... who do I want to be on the teen team? I want to be the girl. The little girl who's
I've never
who
read
turns into a
Invincible.
monster.
Yeah, she can only do it so many times, right?
It's a Robert Kirkman comic, right? The
Is it?
Walking Dead guy.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
I've never
know if that's
read it.
true. It's from Image.
No, it's from Skybound.
Whoa. The comic.
I think the comic is from Skybound.
Oh, I don't know, actually. I didn't know. Now I'm looking it up.
Look it
There
up,
we go.
please. Invincible comic.
And I think it is the Robert Kirkman guy.
It is Robert Kirkman.
It is Robert Kirkman. You are right. And
And
it
it
is
is-
Skybound. Image. They
They-
bought Image.
Okay, they bought Image,
We're arguing over nothing.
You guys have been doing it for years.
Anyway, it says push your luck, deal with multiple threats as they arrive, and work through campaign-based gameplay. I don't know anything. Again, it's 2024.
Cooperative.
It doesn't say cooperative, but I would assume.
We all play characters in the teen team or whatever.
Yeah.
It's got to be cooperative.
You would think so.
I'm still
That
pumped
is
about
awesome. That is awesome. Campaign, all right. You know, there's a lot of campaign games, but if it's good, it's good.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's make it happen.
That
Captain.
cover is fire, by the way. Don't change a thing.
this. All right. Keyforge, some Keyforge news. Keyforge Winds of Exchange. This was, I believe, kickstarted.
Yeah.
So now
Proud
it's coming
that
out.
It was Game Founded.
Game
yeah.
Founded, you're right, sorry. From Ghost Galaxy Games. The release is August 4th from Asmodee.
Oh, that wasn't out?
Just to backers.
Oh.
It's also one of my favorite Scorpion songs, Winds of Exchange. It's a beautiful
Everything is a song with you.
It's a
All right.
beautiful song.
But
know,
there's
right?
some new things coming
I don't
out.
know that one.
They're releasing a 2-player starter set, which there was originally if you bought when Keyforge first came out, there was a 2-player
Yeah.
starter set.
Yeah. And then they have some Unchained
I believe
stuff, I
there's
guess.
random decks. So there's 2 pre-constructed decks in it and 2 random decks.
Okay, so the same way they did it back in the day. The original set was same thing, I think. 2 pre-constructed. Everybody got the same 2.
Yeah, that's right. It was that way. Does this Unchained mean a particular mechanic because they used to
No,
have the chain
Unchained
stuff?
means it's a non-tournament legal release,
Okay.
and the decks don't follow normal deck construction guidelines. So
Okay.
basically, like, you can get a wild deck, you just can't play it in a tournament.
Yeah, they basically were like, they took the algorithm and choked it out.
All right, I love it.
And they were like, go off.
I love everything about
I
it.
will probably get one of those decks. I'm just
Sure.
curious.
Right.
I'm curious though. There's so much Keyforge. I'm not seeing or hearing a lot about it being played. I mean, it must be being played because it's selling and
Are they
everything.
still doing the unique name for each deck and all
Yeah.
that stuff?
Although
Oh.
I think that algorithm's not as good as it once was, or they've used up all the good names.
Yeah, okay.
Because the one I got, I got this Kickstarter in,
Okay.
and all the names we thought they were kind of boring names.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on Donkey Juice, comma, Killer of Monkey Poo.
Have you heard about Disney
deck,
Lorcana?
No, I'm not familiar.
If you haven't heard about this, go to Gen Con next week, where I'm sure it will be standing room
there?
only.
It's going to be
It's
insane.
it's demoed there. I don't know if it's for sale, but they're launching a companion app ahead of it. Oh, never mind. It says the first product release at Gen Con 2023.
This is going to be the place that people
want
are
some.
running to. And you're
Have
not
fun
supposed to
trying to
run,
get it.
folks.
Have
Do
fun trying to get it.
not run. Do not run.
I'm going to power walk
Z will
over
be
there
like,
and get it.
Z will do a live review of the game. He'll pick up the back, and this is a Lorcana. I'm
He's
assuming
gonna-
it's good. Okay, 3 out of 4.
He's going to live tweet it.
I'm about to live tweet my my Lorcana acquisition.
You're rushed to get out
Do you
that
have
first
the app
review.
right now?
I don't have the app yet.
You need to download that
You
while
can
the show's
download the
happening.
app.
Do
It
now.
provides tutorials, a lore points counter, and offers news updates for the game. It's an ad.
It's an ad. Yeah, drink more Ovaltine. Lorcana edition.
That's right.
All right, and then finally, our last piece of news: the very peaceful Dorf romantic game, The Duel.
That's right. It's
So-
pretty funny, yeah.
I think sometime I should make like a top 10 list of things you know will happen when a game becomes famous.
Yes.
Because right now, the 2-player version
Yes.
is the thing.
Is
The
it?
Duel. That's
is
the
a
new thing. Duel. Yeah.
Right.
The only one that skirted that slightly was Tokaido Duo.
Duo. Yeah.
Instead of Duel. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is it's a look. Clearly, this was in development before the spiel.
Sure.
But it's good timing for them to get this out there, right?
Well, I'm assuming they suspected they were going to get nominated.
We all did, right? I mean, we all were like, this has got to be a nomination at least. So.
All right. Well, that is the news.
Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less. And if you are raising a gamer of the future, as I like to call kids, you are probably familiar with the publishing company Gamewright. They do a lot of really wonderful family games, and a couple of the favorites from their company, Rat-a-Tat-Cat and Dragonwood, have follow-up sequel games that came out in the last few years that are truly excellent. Rat-a-Tat-Cat is a very simple game that's essentially just a memory game with a twist, where you have 4 cards face down in front of you, and you get to switch them out with other cards. There's a few other specialty cards involved, and at the end you're trying to have the least points. And it's really simple. Kids like really simple games. They can understand it inside and out. It's okay to have some games that they play with some help, and okay, if I'm on your team, then you can figure out what to do for this. But it's nice to have some that they can play on their own with siblings, and this is one of those. It's based on the card game Golf. Well, Rat-a-Tat Roll came out in 2019, and it is Rat-a-Tat-Cat plus a little bit of strategy. They have a board now, and the Statue of Liberty gets to move around, and you're rolling dice, and you have a bit more choice in what you are choosing to go for. And you still have where you get to sneak a peek, or you get to trade cards with somebody, but it seems like it happens more often that you get the specialty moves and you have more control over it. There's a hot air balloon token that you can get that allow you to re-roll the dice, and there's even a specialty die that allows you to collect a lower card, and it really helps. So I, as a parent, am really happy to have something to segue into that has a bit more going on, and this one just does it so well while retaining the heart and the fun of Rat-a-Tat-Cat. Dragonwood, I was surprised when I looked this up. It only came out in 2015 is when it was first published, and it seems like it has become just standard in a lot of people's game collections, especially with kids, and you can see why. The theme is on point. It's fantasy, and you're just rolling dice, and it's basically collecting sets, runs, or cards of the same color that allow you to do different kinds of attacks to collect these creature cards, and you're just trying to get the most points at the end of the game. So it's really simple, really satisfying to play. Well, then Dragon Realm came out in 2019, and this one, I would say, I would bring to an adult game night and nobody would bat an eye, because the gameplay in the field does not seem kid-like. And to me, it kind of feels along the lines of fantasy realms in terms of the level of difficulty and what you're doing, but it has a bit more going on. So like Dragonwood, you are still collecting cards that allow you to roll dice, but instead of collecting creatures, you have these location cards, and it's a bit more strategic because you're claiming a spot on the different location cards, and whoever gets the most spots on one of those cards gets like first prize and gets to collect the card, and then second prize gets a certain number of points. And they have, at least in our collection, my favorite meeples. The adventurer meeples are really fun for this, and there are also goblin meeples that kind of work as a chaos factor, which I enjoy, where if you flip over a goblin card, it will go on a different one of the location spots. And so it might mess with your plans where you were planning on rolling for this specific spot so you'd win the card, but then the goblin took it. So now you split the victory with the other player and you split the points. So it's just a nice level up while still being kid friendly, but it's magical when it works for kids, but it also works for adults too. That is just the sweet spot that few games are really able to achieve, and this one does it so well. So that's it for me today. You can check out my YouTube channel and website for more content like this. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and back to the folks in the studio.
It's summertime.
Oh!
I'm melting.
Summertime.
I love summers. I've always have for various reasons. So we're talking about top 3 of summer. So specifically, you said activities,
Summer stuff.
summer
The
stuff.
things I like to do whilst summering.
Yes. What's your number 3?
I got one of
The
those
funny
too now.
thing is,
gotta guess.
I just thought of something, and I want
Put it in there. No one's got a list with pictures.
I am, because it was going to be all 3 basically on the same theme. So
Summer.
this is going to be a change up.
Eric's
It's going to be snow.
Favorite thing about the summer when I was a kid was not going to school, playing video games for 22 to 23 hours a day.
Fair
Well,
enough.
You can't do
Yeah.
that every day.
Every day!
I'm sure you
He
die.
falls asleep with it.
Yeah, summer was magical because that was a time that you basically could just do what you wanted
didn't go
to
out?
do for them. Oh, I'm exaggerating. Of course I go out, but we would also, oftentimes when I'd go out, I'd go to my friend's house and play video games.
What video games were? What did you have? Pong?
Dang, son! Oh my goodness, Tom Vassell, you're an animal.
Commodore 64.
Thank you, Atari 2600.
Atari 2600.
Mike was on the development team.
Sega Genesis. We played
Sega
all.
Genesis was when you were a
Genesis.
teenager, older teenager for sure.
ColecoVision, Smurfs. Yes.
Anyway, no, I
That's-
get
I
it.
couldn't afford ColecoVision. I had to go to my buddy's house.
I'll tell you what, honestly, like I did things that are a little more current, I guess,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I would do now, but definitely top of the list, very close to top 3, if not definitely in there, would be during the summers, staying up late.
Yep.
That's a big one. Like I would
Huge.
eventually, I would slowly over about the first month
Right.
switch my day and my night, literally.
Yeah.
I'd be up all night and sleep during the day.
Yep.
I don't know why, but I just started to push it and push it and push
Because
it
you can,
and
yeah.
flip-flop them and playing video
School
games.
must have been terrible for you, starting it up
The
again.
first
then.
week was
is rough.
difficult,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Yep.
also the first week, nothing happens.
Yep.
Just slackers.
All right, my number 3 is July 4th.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird because I almost do no celebrating of it since we started Dice Tower East.
Yeah.
Like nothing. We're so busy with East, I don't get a chance. But man, the main reason I like July 4th is the fireworks. And I've transferred my love of that to New Year's Eve here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just like it was always a thing. It'd be picnicking all day, playing games, fireworks at night.
Yeah.
Then go home and watch all the kids shoot off the illegal fireworks in our
Correct.
neighborhood.
Must
And I
be
just,
illegal.
it was like, July 4th was like the pinnacle of summer. That was the halfway point. It was not the halfway point, but it always felt like the halfway point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, everyone was in a good mood. I liked it.
Okay. My number 3 is going to be, I almost put pools on here, but I decided to go ahead and treat myself. I'm going to go with water parks.
That was the one I took out to put in.
You done messed up, Mike.
I know.
Water parks. Now, I'm not a big, crazy, I don't like roller coasters. You guys were talking about that earlier. I don't like crazy slides or anything. But most water parks are going to have a few things, slides, attractions, that sort of stuff, that I can definitely enjoy. And then there's always the lazy river. Hello.
Yeah, I love the lazy
And then
river.
there is wave pools and all that jazz. I love it all. All that stuff is wonderful.
Yep.
Get a good summer day in there. Go in a group especially and enjoy a day at
Yeah.
a water park.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. It's just unbridled fun.
right.
You're going to sleep well that night. Too.
Oh, that's very true. And that reminds me of something else too. But yeah, so no, just
Top 10 things about the summer.
something I was already choosing that would remind me of something. So my number 2 is like having, I don't know what you'd call them, water wars, water fights. You get
Wait, you dropped water?
my third one was going to be water
Water
slides.
farts.
Oh, this is water fights?
This is water fights. So like in your buddy's house or your house, you get the big tub full of water balloons. You fill them all up on the little thing. You break about 50% of them by trying to get them around the.
Have you seen the new water balloons?
I'm sure that the technology for water balloons, I'm sure, is off the
Have
charts.
you've not seen the new ones?
No, what are they? AI water balloons now?
No,
or-
they're no. They come on these little sticks, and they come in packs of like 40.
Oh, I have seen
You
those.
attach it to the hose, they fill up.
That's insane.
They tie themselves and drop into the thing. It's insane how
Look,
good they are.
Kids these days are getting too soft. But in my day, you had to break half of them.
Your mom did it for you. Don't lie.
Please, my mom had nothing to do with those water balloons. I was all about the water balloons. And the other thing was you had to get them to the point where they were so bloated
That you just looked at them and they
that
broke.
half the time they'd break in your hand when you're trying to throw them,
You
right?
ever play the game where you throw it back
That's
and
what we
forth?
call friendly fire. Oh, yeah, of course.
You throw it back and forth to see who it breaks on.
Right. So
And
you'd
on a hot
have,
day, you're like, it's me.
you'd have those, you'd have water guns.
Yep.
This was really before the day of super soakers, but you'd have water
Okay,
guns
right.
and you'd have water balloons and you'd get into teams. You'd get some cardboard boxes that you'd have for your cover and stuff, and then you just go nuts. You're throwing the water balloons, you're shooting the guns.
So what's better? You guys know, you guys have experienced both ends of the weather spectrum more than I have.
I grew up in California, by the way. Yeah.
Never mind. What do you guys prefer? Summer water fights or winter snow fights?
Oh, summer, but
Summer,
for a mile.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like snow fights, but it's painful, the end result. While
It's
in the
super
summer, you
painful.
just feel great.
If it's icy snow, then you
guess
might
that's
as well
true.
throw
There's always
a
that one
shot
kid
put at
putting a
me.
stone in
They'll
his.
put a rock in there.
Yeah, what a
right.
jerk.
They'll put an M80 in there. They'll put illegal fireworks in there. It's a whole thing. They put
California.
thumbtacks in there.
Monkey poo.
Well, my number 2 is a crossover of both of you.
Oh.
Because it's just water.
Okay.
Okay. No, I like.
What is this, like a top 3 survival guy? What do you mean water?
No, but the water fun. Water fun.
My
Water
number
fun.
1, gases.
The thing I liked about it, I love the water battles,
Yep.
the water balloons, and I liked water parks, and I still love water parks. But what about the slip and slide?
The slip and slide is great. I love that, except if you've got the kind of yards that we tended to have in Southern California, there would always be some rocks you couldn't find. You'd put it down, and you just rip up your torso.
You'll find them, yeah.
Yeah, you just have shredded pieces of torso. All
I've
over.
tried to do a slip and slide here in
Right.
Florida. It with all that coral
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there, it's tough.
It's tough.
No,
The
yeah,
slip and
tough.
slide is red by the end of it. It's just filled with blood.
It's not.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh.
But I'll tell you what, if we could ever, you have to get all the moms would have to usually agree to a water battle because it's a mess afterwards. And everyone comes in drenched.
Did you ever do the we don't have a whole lot of money, we'll make our own slip and slides where you take the
Shower
large
curtains.
trash bags,
Oh.
you rip them in half, you lay those out?
No.
Yeah, we did that.
But I did have that we don't have a lot of money, so you don't get a water gun. Here's a spray bottle. And I was like, all right.
Definitely.
Or I ran around with a cup of water.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, yeah.
I
My
said,
slip
it's a
was-
grenade.
Or you just take the hose and you do the thumb thing.
Yes. My slip and slide was when I was a little kid. We would do it if it was raining. We would do it on people's porches in my little neighborhood when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
People had some porches were better, like some of the neighbors, and we knew which ones. So we'd be like, okay, they get good rain in their porch. It's really loaded up, so you can definitely just like belly flop,
Oh, that's
down
sweet.
the porch, and
Yep.
there weren't too many tiles or anything.
The when it came to water battles and,
Yeah.
and running around, it's almost as the hoses you mentioned that
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
your thumb on it. Were the spray nozzles, was that like a rich man's game? Because my dad never had one. It was
didn't-
always like, hold your thumb.
Yeah, we
and
didn't
most
have
of my
them.
neighbors had that.
Yeah, you can just put your
Yeah,
thumb
yeah.
on
But
it.
now I can't think of anyone who doesn't have a spray nozzle.
No, people don't know what half the things you can use your thumb for now.
I
Kids
agree.
these days.
Like,
I agree.
There's 3,001 uses for your thumb, and nowadays you
Okay,
can know
let's-
like 2 or 3.
I agree.
I'm going to pull you back.
No, I agree
I'm
with
going
that.
to pull you back
Number
from down
28
one.
will shock you.
All right, what's your number
Literally.
2?
My number 2 is something I just mentioned, actually, and this is maybe a weird one, but summer rain, showers,
The petrichor.
storms, that juicy, juicy smell of petrichor.
I'm not thrilled about it right now, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that, I mean, just, there's nothing quite like being home, being wherever you are, doing whatever you're doing, and hearing it start to pick up a nice, like, clean,
Yeah.
thorough rain, a nice shower.
Especially hitting the metal
You shower
gutters.
in the summer rain.
I used to as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that rain, it starts to pick up and you hear that, like, and you're like, oh my gosh. You're like, you
you
just
sleep better with it?
relax, 100%. You sleep better.
it's so much
it
better,
immediately
yeah.
makes me want to go get a book and
Yep.
lay down on a couch or something and read on a metal roof. Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
goodness. I mean, like, I associate a good downpour like that, a really refreshing one with summer.
Yeah, that's great.
And it is just it makes you feel a little cool, even if the temperature technically didn't change. You're oh, I feel cozier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of that. I love that. So,
Yeah.
good showers in summer are fantastic.
Good call. It's a
What's
good
your
call.
number one?
My number one, I mentioned I grew up in Southern California, was going to the beach. We would usually take the bus.
This is not a crossover with me.
Yeah, we'd take the bus. We'd go to the beach, or if a friend's mom or something could take us, we would go. My mom didn't drive a car until she was like 40 something. Anyway, we'd go to the beach, spend the whole day there. You'd bring sandwiches or whatever, and a little cooler. And you were talking about sleeping well that night. I would always sleep so well the nights that I went back from the beach, and you would go to bed, you go to sleep, and you still felt the rocking of the waves. It just was.
Were you on a boat?
No, I'd be like on a.
Being in the water.
In the water, you
after a
feel
while.
that. You kind of going with it,
interesting.
or if you're on a boogie
So
board or something.
when you go to the beach, you're an in the water kind of guy.
I am 100%.
You're not a layout guy.
I'll lay out for a bit, but I want to be in the water as often as I can.
If you lay out here, you'll die
Yes,
from sunburn.
that is correct. Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, going to the beach. So yeah, I had 3 water things, but I'm glad I thought of the video games because
They're all water. Well, my number 3 is, number 1 is a slight crossover with you. Not anything to do with video games. Just my favorite thing about summer was no school. And I want to be clear, that lasted all the way till I started working for the Dice Tower.
Yeah.
And even now, I still like when there's no school as a parent.
Yes.
Because it makes your life easier. But as a teacher, it was even more than the kids are like, no school. I'm like, you have no idea. You have no idea. They'd be like, yay, teachers, ha ha. And I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
This is my summer too. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
the countdown to summer.
Yeah. Oh,
and you're like,
oh
even as
my
a teacher, you're like the administrator, like, are we done? Are we
Can we
done?
go?
We could go? Is the final meeting over?
Right.
Out.
Right.
Oh
When do we have to be back? When do we have to be back or we won't get in trouble?
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But as a kid too, just I just love that period of time. And when I was a teacher, I also was like, I'll try not to get a job over the summer if I can.
Right.
I wanted to have that break.
Yeah.
And even now, I still love the no school thing because the lack of traffic is amazing.
Right. Oh, it really is,
And when you have kids, now again, I'm not at home, so my wife might have a different opinion.
Sure.
But you don't have to drive them to all these different things. There's no stupid school programs. I'm sure yours are precious that you go to. Sit there for 3 hours to watch your kids sing for 30 seconds. There's no one selling door-to-door chocolate or it's amazing.
Yeah, that tangible feeling on the last day of school, both as a student and as a teacher, it never got old. Like 19 years into teaching, that last day was still like, yes. You're leaving and you're like walking on air when you're going out to your car.
It just feels like, and the weather's
true.
warmer, and it just, life is great.
Yep.
And on the opposite, that week before school, sometimes you're excited because you're like, okay, time for a new year, I'm ready. Get over that real fast.
How many times did you teach summer school as a teacher?
Never, actually.
Me neither.
It seems like the most depressing thing
Not
on
once.
earth to do.
Not once did I teach summer
Did
school.
you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems like a really hey guys, guess we're back.
Oh gosh.
You remember that movie Summer School? It was like, I always pictured it like
Yes.
that. Yeah, you stick a movie on and you go into the back.
Yes. All right, is it me?
Yep.
All right, my number 1 is going to be grilling.
Grilling.
Barbecuing. I guess it's not really barbecuing, but it's sort of the same thing, right? But a grill, getting some charcoal going, or get the gas going, and just usually you're at a beach or you're at a camp or some sort of outdoorsy place, and it's okay that it's going to take forever to get these things heated up and cooked. Everybody's talking anyway.
Yeah, because you're filling up a potato salad on the side.
Yeah,
like, when's the meat ready?
Yeah, you're eating something else, or you're picking at something. I'll be having a drink and take a sip, put it down, flip some things, and wait. And I love that. And again, very relaxing. It's enjoyable to do, and then the outcome is not even. Again, this is like the perfect personification of that whole the journey is more important than the destination.
Yeah.
By the time you actually get to have some burgers and hot dogs, people are full already on everything else.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
True.
They're like, it's a burger. I mean,
good. Yeah.
you took how many hours to do this?
Right.
I'll be at the water. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's about that experience. It's sort of
It
like
is.
it's a focal points for that. I really enjoy that.
Oh gosh, you
grilling and barbecuing.
You just reminded me of a story. I'll make it as quick as I can. We went to the beach. My sister, who was the oldest, she was, like 11 years older than me, and her friend took me to the beach, and they wanted to grill hamburgers on the beach. But a lot of the beaches in California would have grills out there you had access to.
Yeah, they have them up in Miami too.
Yeah, this beach didn't have any grills, so they had to improvise.
Wait, there's
boy.
no good way for the story to
No,
end.
they, for some reason, had a Folgers coffee can in their car.
They put charcoal in it?
They put charcoal in this Folgers coffee can and put a piece of aluminum foil over it and tried to cook burgers on this thing. It didn't work. It was raw. They gave me a burger. I'm like, what, 7, 8 years old? I'm crying because I don't want to eat a raw hamburger. It was bad.
Did they make you eat it?
No. They didn't make me eat it. I took a bite and I was just like weeping.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like good grilling.
It wasn't good grilling.
No. Folgers is not coming out with a grill anytime soon, you know? Oh.
Do not recommend. I did not leave a good Yelp review.
What's
I'll tell you
Folgers'
that.
logo?
Oh, what was it?
The best part of waking up?
The best part of waking up
is grilling
is
in a Folgers cup.
getting trichinosis.
All right, that's our top things of summer. Let's keep going. So, speaking of summer, and speaking of you, this one's about y'all there in chat. So, one of the things, cheers, the slogan was, sometimes you got to go where everybody knows your name. That was the song.
Sometimes you got
One of the best theme songs.
Oh, for sure.
Although,
Absolutely.
it always cracks me up because the theme song, combined with the pictures of the people who are like staggering out of a bar drunk, I was like, that's not the... I always thought the pictures of Cheers were weird.
They were odd. They were supposed to be like old-timey, right?
Yeah, but it was like showing old-timey people like...
staggering out of a...
Yeah.
Remember
no one
the days?
almost no one ever got drunk in Cheers anyway.
No.
Norm
Although Norm would be there.
would get close.
Yeah.
And Norm had some big problems, actually, if you think about it. But
Norm, he spent a lot of time in that bar.
But anyway, the thing about that was, hey, you walk in and everyone says, hey! It's like CC's, but, you know.
No, CC's doesn't do that. It's Moe's. Welcome
CC's
to
does it
Moe's.
too.
Oh, do they?
Well, they used to.
I guess I've been to the wrong CC's.
They're like, welcome to CC's!
Oh, yeah, they do the same thing at Moe's. Welcome to Moe's.
Anyhow.
Yeah, but that's not, they don't know you.
They don't know your name, right? But the whole walking in and everyone knowing you is a
Yeah.
nice thing. And people like that. That's why people go to the same bar
Sure.
and hang out with people. And it happens here in chat. We say that because people walk into our chat or show up in chat or whatever,
Yes.
and everyone shouts their name, and it makes
Right.
me smile.
Yep.
And I enjoy that fact. And it also happens at game stores, too. You walk in and we're like, hey!
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. But...
Here it comes.
This is
Here's the Columbo turn. One more thing.
Bubble bursting
That's
over
true. I
here.
need to turn around and be like, I'm like putting my coat on and like, hang on. But the thing is, that is great. I think it's fantastic. But we must always be welcoming for more. We talk about this because we run small events, the retreat, the cruise, and things like that. And small events can get very friendly. And then that turns into cliques.
Yeah.
And cliques are amazing when you're in them.
Yeah.
And they are. It's nice to have friends. And that's
Sure,
the great
of
thing about
course.
it. I mean, even here in the Daystar, where you're like friends, we come in, hey, we say each other's names sometimes. Like,
Bill.
Mark, Mike.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
but-
yeah.
So it's just like an encouragement to that because I know when I go visit sometimes a game store that's not my own, sometimes it can feel odd. We went to a game event last year where we were definitely not
Yes.
part of the friends who were doing it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad, we weren't treated unkindly, we weren't treated,
No, right.
it was nothing bad, but definitely I was like, huh.
We're on the outside.
We're
Yeah.
outsiders, yeah.
And that's the way it's, I mean, but I just encourage people to be friendly. Bring them in. Get to know them.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing. This is not a scolding on chat or anything. Chat just made me think about it. It's more important in real life.
Yes.
Now, if I go to chat and people don't call my name out, I don't sit there and go,
Right.
huh. No, that's different, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's bigger in game groups or in conventions and things like that to just make sure that, you all have your friends you like to play with, but it's great if you can go out of your way to maybe introduce somebody to yourself and ask if you want to play a game or, you can meet some great people that way.
I'm actually glad our chats do not do what the IRCs used to do, where it would say you've entered chat.
Oh, yeah.
Like, someone entered chat. This would make this insanity.
Oh,
There's
yeah, for sure.
500 people
Oh,
watching.
gosh,
Yeah, yeah.
I
You
forgot
remember that?
about that.
You would go in the
Yes.
chat and people would know you were there. So sometimes I would actually make up a fake name just because I didn't want necessarily
Yes.
to be like, Mike entered the chat.
Right.
Or you would see, Mike entered the chat. You would say something, Mike exited
Mike
the
exit
chat.
the chat.
And you're like, did I do something? Did I say something?
Yeah,
or maybe
right.
he just left.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you take
I
it
do
personally.
remember that. My goodness, it's a blast from the past. Yes. No, I agree. I think it's good for us to, the same way you're at events like this and you need to mentally remind yourself, like, hey, drink water. Hey,
Yes.
grab a whatever. Don't forget to do this. It's every now and then go, hey, pick your head up from the group you've been hanging out with. Have a quick look around. Does anybody look lost?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Does anybody need a little something? Do you, and that's, it's just it's a
sometimes-
nice thing to do for
It
people.
is.
And
It
sometimes,
is.
you got to push a little bit yourself. I just saw someone in chat said that's how they felt at Dice Tower West. I get that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes you just go and meet people. And also, I noticed that if all those people are like hanging out, and I'll look around and, this guy looks a little lost too. Hey, then we can make friends and things like that.
Sometimes it's just that first, like if you can get past that initial, because it's tough, right? I mean, not everybody is super extroverted and outgoing and have no issues just walking up to a table of strangers and, asking, hey, is there room for another one? That's not easy for a lot
No,
of
I
people
get
to
it.
do,
Yeah, it
including
is not.
myself. But if you can get past that first initial thing where you start, it becomes easier, I think.
Yeah.
It does. It's like that
get
first time you get in a
momentum.
school bus.
Yeah, because you're not only meeting one person, you're usually meeting 3 or 4 other people, and they're going to have people they know, and it just becomes more of a network, an ever-growing thing.
Well, there you go, folks. That's it for Board Game Smorgasbord.
Oh.
So we're going to be back in a little over half an hour. We got Stone Spine
Stone Spine Architects.
You did it.
You did well.
I did. Stone Spine Architects. So we're going to be playing that, and then we'll be back with the top 10 list later on today, and then that mega announcement thread.
Woo, I'm so excited. And I just
Alrighty.
can't hide
Well, we'll
it.
see you then. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Z Garcia.
Let's get to summering.
Burger flavor.
Welcome to the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular, featuring live plays, contests, and we'd like to thank our sponsors and our special guests, and we hope that you enjoy.